And now, to share what building community first businesses in Minneapolis can teach the nation about bridging divides, please welcome entrepreneur and cultural leader Houston White.
Good morning. Um, what do we want for Minnesota? And I ask you all to think selfishly, like what's in it for you? It is a question that I ask every single partner, potential, whether it's philanthropic, someone who wants to work with me, or even the little homies that want to come sweep up the barbershop. Like, what do you want? Because if there is not a selfish reason when it gets tough, when the words of the day change, you'll run. And so I think we have to think about this region's challenges is like, what do we all get out of it by helping to attack and solve it? So what do I want from Minnesota? For me, for my community, but most importantly, for all of us, to learn to embrace the power of culture. Like, Minnesota has what it takes. 10,000 lakes, affordable housing stock according to the coast, but compared to most of the coast, super high quality of life. We have all the ingredients to become this powerful engine of art, culture, and commerce. But opportunity does not guarantee destiny. To get there, we got to ask this question, like, what if? What if, as a state, we learn to value diverse talent differently? What if we embrace culture not as a side note, not as an exception, but as the literal rocket fuel that will take us where we really want to go? I'll share a little story. When I was young, I grew up in the hip hop era. I seen kids in South Central go from high school dropouts to cultural phenoms. I saw literally how culture could transform an entire world's ability to influence anything through product proliferation. Michael Jordan was not a basketball player. He revolutionized the idea of culture plus capacity and what that ultimately meant, transforming that little fledgling running company to something that was one of the most valuable assets in the history of cultural businesses. And so that is what I wanted to be, to use what I had naturally to get where I wanted to go. My teachers, mentors, they all said I was exceptional. One of those well-meaning mentors, I call my Irish grandfather, Dr. Connolly, came to this country from Northern Ireland and worked as a cardiologist at the Mayo Clinic. I met him when I was young. And, he saw promise in me, and Dr. Connolly offered to pay my tuition to any school I wanted to go to. He offered me the same deal that he offered his other children. You go to college, I pay for it. You go to grad school, I buy you a brand new car. I came home, I told my mom, and she was like, yeah, you're doing it. And I was like, no, I'm not. What I saw is what I wanted to be, which was to use my natural gifts to get where I wanted to go. And that was very unusual in 1993, 94 for a black kid from North Minneapolis. That was considered one of the roughest places to be in America at the time. We were called Murderopolis. Years later, I sat down with Dr. Conley. We drank some cognac up at Spider Lake, and he thanked me. I was 27 years old. I had built a $30 million construction company. And he said, you opened my eyes. I only knew one way, education. And another way, what he didn't say, but I understand at the time, was, as a black man, conformity. That's how you get where you want to go. And I thought to myself, I'm like, what if he would have invested right there in me? What if he would have put a trust and said, you draw down as you prove out? How much further could I have gotten where I wanted to go? That is Minnesota in a nutshell. We say all are welcome here. You know, we say we want diverse talent, but if you don't fit the archetype, if you don't fit the mold, you don't get in the room. Look around this country. The two strongest economies in this country, LA and New York, are also the most culturally fluent. They didn't get there by ignoring culture. They got there by letting it lead. So here's what I do know, right? Culture is not charity. We are in a cultural economy. Culture drives growth. Culture drives receipts. I came to a block in North Minneapolis in 2008. The median income was $26,000. By 2018, it was $45,000. Today, it's upwards of $70,000. Considered the fastest growing zip code in the entire state of Minnesota. Why? Because culture sparked businesses, businesses sparked jobs, businesses sparked community, community sparked a feeling of aspiration, and the neighborhood started to literally change. So here's what we don't need. No knock on this panel, but another panel. Another study about the study that we just did. We really have to embrace talent in all of its forms. Look at Prince, Michael Jordan, Miles Davis, Aretha Franklin. Did you know Jimi Hendrix could not read sheet music and was self-taught? And is considered the greatest guitar player to ever live. That kind of genius you cannot teach. You just got to see it, invest in it, and let it flourish. You know, and I often refer to my ancestors when I'm thinking about where I need to be, and I think about James Baldwin, the truth teller. You know, he said, not everything that is faced can be changed, but absolutely nothing can be changed until it's faced. And then Maya, like my grandma, she said, courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. You can practice any virtue erratically, but nothing consistently without courage. These timeless figures give us an example of how we have to think in this moment about this state, this region, and ultimately this country. We have to be real if we're going to actually get to the other side. And here's the real. Minnesota has reduced black excellence to binary. On one side, the exceptional Negro, that Harvard material, and then everybody else. In flattening, we kill creativity. There's so much dimensionality. There's so many rich layers to culture that if we can see and invest in as a region, we can absolutely thrive. So what's the call to action? Grab your phones. No, I'm serious, get your phone. Go to getdowncoffee.com. That's a coffee company that I own. You can subscribe. You can get your beans weekly, monthly, however you want. Or you can go to Target, or you can order them directly. I'm joking, but I'm serious. But that is examples of what we can actually do is invest in real people with real businesses to do real things to make real lasting change, because I'm on the ground and literally trying to create that impact. 20 years ago, Barack Obama said, yes, we can. And he was right. We can. And I'm here to hopefully offer a little bit of how. Minnesota can be a national model of growth, creativity, innovation, and community if we learn to embrace the power of culture, not as a side hustle, and not hustle with a T, hustle, H-U-S-S-L-E. Culture is core. If we see it, if we invest in it, state can be unstoppable. Black culture has always been America's muse, from jazz sessions that turned conversations into song to speeches that shifted history, to style that literally reshaped the world. The question is, will Minnesota finally listen? So here's what I ask all of you to do. Ask yourself, what is in it for me? And go find a way to unlock the power of human potential. Thank you.